Hello and welcome to a new copy edit. I am Ricky the Canine Copywriter, and today I am going to be talking about three things actually. First thing I'm going to be talking to you about is called SGE, which is Search Generative Experience. I think that's what it stands for, which is Google's new AI system, which gives us results in the search. And this is an important thing for us to talk about in terms of SEO for your dog business, because it's how Google is changing and it's being tested and changing all the time, and how that might affect your SEO efforts. So I want to talk about that. I want to walk you through, rather than somebody else's content this time, I'm going to walk you through a blog that I've written for myself today. And what I'm going to do through doing an edit of that is, or rather than an edit, a review of that, is to show you what I'm doing and why, so that you can rinse and apply that to your own blog strategies. And I'm going to also talk to you about pillar content and cluster content. So that's three things. We're going to talk a little bit about SGE. I'm going to walk you through a listicle blog that I've written and show you the tactics or techniques that I'm using within that and explain them so that you can rinse and repeat them. And I've already forgotten what the third thing I was going to do was. What did I say? SGE, review of my own, pillar and cluster blogs. There we go. If you're anything like me, you'll be glad this is recorded. You can, if you get distracted midway through, you can come back, rewind, or jump in further down if you've, whatever you need. I am a very distractible human being, and I totally get it if you are too. Welcome to my channel. All right, so let's start off by talking about SGE, which I believe stands for Search Generative Experience, but I might have got that wrong. Essentially what it is this new bit at the top of Google. I say new, they've been experimenting with it for a while, and it's essentially Google's AI pulling results from across the web to answer a search term. Now, a lot of SEOs have been whinging wildly about this actually, because it has meant that a lot of people are seeing a dip in organic traffic because there are more answers showing up here, which potentially means that somebody searching doesn't need to click over to which therefore means that a lot of websites are seeing a smaller decline in click-throughs to their website or in organic traffic to their website, because people are getting their search satisfied without leaving Google. However, what I would say is actually, I think that this is a really unique opportunity and a great opportunity for us. Here's why. So prior to the SGE being rolled out, what you used to have is what is called a featured snippet, which is essentially position 0 on Google, right? So before you get your sponsored posts, or before you get your normal search results, you'd have like one person who took the top position for a search. Let me see if I can find one for you. Nope, that's been replaced. Hang on. Let's try that. No, they're all being replaced. There we go. They're all being replaced. Anyway, what you might have seen before was just one of these results appearing in the top position. Whereas now what we can see is you're seeing a variety of things, and each one of these links provides different blog articles that it's pulling the information from. And so for me, this presents a massive opportunity for us, because it means there's more opportunities for us to appear at the very top of Google. Now, if you take my either Underdogs Unleashed course or my Your Blog Genie course, I'll walk you through how you find out what to put in your content to help it rank. But essentially, if we're following these, if we're looking at what's coming up for our topic here, and what are the bullet points that are coming up, and we create pillar content that answers all of those things, then what we could be aiming to do actually is to rank for as many of these as possible, so that our blog could show up here and here and here and here, right? So actually the opportunities are more vast. Now, that relies on you picking topics that need more explanation than a line, so that somebody wants to go on and click that link and find out more information. But the opportunity is there. So that is generative AI, SGE, Search Generative. I've already forgotten what it stands for. Whatever. We're not here for the tech, are we? We're here for the information. Doesn't matter if I know the acronyms or not. That's good news. All right. So I decided and what's quite funny about this, and it proves how experimental it is 3 days ago, I was looking for opportunities for content creation for my own business, the Canine Copywriter, and I searched dog trainer marketing, and I found that I was coming up here with a blog that I've written about social media content. What I found though the other day was there was an AI generated snippet, much like this, and it had all of these links. And I thought, okay, well, I was showing up for one or two of them, not on this one. But I thought, okay, I'm going to create a listicle blog, and I'm going to cover off all the 9 things that are showing up there in my blog, and hopefully that will give my business a chance to rank in that SGE for multiple topics, right? I can get those little links, these little doohickeys, and my business here on multiple of these bullet points, then that would serve me really well for increasing my organic traffic. So I'm not going to walk you through the whole blog because you can read it in your own time if you're interested. But essentially, it's what we would call in the industry a listicle blog, which means it's a numbered, 5 ways to do X, 7 reasons why, listicle. And what there'll always be is a list with some information about each item on it, right? What then makes this a pillar blog versus a cluster blog is a pillar blog is like your overarching ultimate guide to a topic. And then your cluster blogs are spin-off blogs that answer each of these in more detail. So, for example, step 1 in mine is Google Business Profile. I don't have a blog on Google Business Profile yet, but I could create a blog on all about Google Business Profile, and I could link to it within here. I do have a video on it, so I've embedded that here. Boost your local SEO, right? I could do a whole blog about local SEO. I could link to that from within here. Third on the list is collaborate and network. I don't have a blog for that. Post on social media. I link to my social media blog. Get your business a website. I link to content around that. Add a blog. I link to content around blogging, and so on. So what happens is within your ultimate guide, you've got in your pillar blog, you've got multiple opportunities for somebody to go down a rabbit hole and learn much more about the topic that you've put in front of them. And why this is helpful is because you can drive traffic to one blog and retain people on your website for much longer if you do this. You also demonstrate to Google that this is a helpful piece of content because people are staying on your site longer and they're visiting the other pages and so on. And ultimately, you're helping people, right? Somebody that visited this blog, if they were interested in dog trainer marketing, could find how to do email marketing, how to do lead magnets, how to write blogs, how to set up their Google business profile, and so on. So it's a really useful piece of content. And the way that I would approach pillar and cluster content, let's make this relevant to you for a dog business. For example, perhaps you specialize in recall training. So you could have a blog that's like your ultimate guide to recall training. This would be your pillar blog. What I would suggest you do first is write all the spin-off blogs. So what are the questions and the problems related to recall training? What are the skills that they need? Do they also, is there a connection between loose lead walking? Is there a connection between what kind of dog training equipment they need? Do they need to read a blog with recall games, recall do's and don'ts, so on and so forth, right? So all of those individual blogs would be your cluster content. Then you'd have your pillar blog that would have brief information about each of those things and would link over to a blog on each topic in its own right. And what this is doing, beyond providing really useful content and giving you lots of chances to rank with all this additional content on the same topic, the other thing it's doing is really demonstrating to Google and people who land on your website that this is a topic that you're an expert in. Look how much content there is on your website on this one thing. It goes really in depth. You've got the most helpful information on the internet related to the thing that you're trying to help people with. This is huge authority boosting, which will in turn boost your visibility. So this was a bit of a rambly video. I've lost my way a few times throughout it, but hopefully it's made some sense of both SGE and listicle blogs and how you can use pillar and cluster content. If anything hasn't made sense or you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below and I will come back and answer them. And if I need to, I will do a more polished version of this video, but I will wait to hear what you think. I'll see you soon for another copy edit. Bye.